injuries to announce for you. I think you saw where Clyde dressed out, didn't play. He didn't practice this week, and I just felt like he lost some weight with the stomach virus, and I'd pulled him back out. The other guys did a nice job of filling in for him. Tyron, I just thought Tyron did a beautiful job on starting the game and finishing the game with 2 interceptions, and that kind of led the way. That was great enthusiasm for the defense. I thought our defense, played a good game, and really rallied towards the end of it in particular. And then Bucker, I thought was stand out with his 5 field goals there, so he did a nice job. And then offensively, again, Kels and Pat and that connection there did a nice job. Tyreek had a couple touchdowns. I'll take blame for the one that I've never had a receiver that didn't know he caught the ball. So, he came off and said he didn't catch it, and I probably should have hung on to that just a little bit longer to look at the replay. But I've been doing this a couple of years. I've never had that situation, so it was a new experience for me. I'll try to do better. Try to do better the next time with it. But what a heck of a job by him. He had 2 touchdowns taken back and away from him. So, but my hat goes out to the Broncos. They came in and played a nice game. Vic had a great game plan for both sides of the ball and his special teams group, and he's great for this division, man. He's a heck of a football coach, and they just keep getting better and better. And that young quarterback of theirs, Locke, local kid, man, he keeps getting better. So it's great competition, and I'm glad we came out on top today. So we'll go back and get ourselves cleaned up with a couple things and get ready for the Dolphins. Anyways, with that, time yours.
Let's go first to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the touchdown that Tyreek Hill had that you didn't call or challenge. How soon do you rely on the folks upstairs to ping you and say, hey, that was a score for you to go ahead and challenge?
Yeah, they were on it right when they saw it, and that was right when we were punting the ball. So, it was a bang, bang thing, and we didn't have time to really look at it before we kicked the ball. So we kicked it with about 10 seconds left, and normally that's kind of where you let it go down to, right in that area, and go with it. But I checked with with Tyreek. He came off, and you can normally tell with a receiver if he knew he had it or not, and especially Tyreek. So he was as surprised as any of us that he ended up with the football.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy. I know you have bigger goals here, but you did clinch a playoff spot tonight. I was just wondering whether you'll take a minute to appreciate that. And Brad, I'll have one quick follow-up.
Yeah, listen, I'm proud of the guys and the coaches. So I thought the coaches had a good game plan. We finished it up when everything wasn't going right. So in years past, maybe you don't win that game. And I appreciate the intensity and the championship attitude that these guys showed today and demonstrated. So, and the desire to win the game. And then listen, to win or to be in the playoffs, that's a great thing. And you're right, and we do have work to do here. So we didn't talk at all about it in the locker room about the playoffs. We just talked about getting ourselves ready for next week and be ready to go down to Miami and play them.
All right, and I know you also had some positive tests overnight, and I was wondering if you could take us through that situation and whether there was a time maybe you thought this thing was all unraveling on you.
Well, when they talk to you early in the morning like that, it's you're not sure what's real and not real. I knew they had been having some problems with the computer system from last night, but we also, we thought we were clean with all that, and then it came back this morning where we weren't clean. So I figured maybe there was a glitch there, and they were great with us. They said, let's just give us an hour or so, and let's just work through this thing and see if we can't get it right. And and it all came back, where we were okay.
Let's go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, a lot of fans expected this to be a blowout, right? But I know you'd like to see how you guys respond in these situations. You touched on this a little bit just in that answer to Adam, but what did you see on both sides of the ball in terms of just effort, competitiveness, and that kind of thing with, in a game this close?
Yeah, so listen, frustration gets set in on those, coaches and players. I didn't sense that as we went. They just wanted to get it right, and they knew we were close on so many different occasions. So everybody just kind of bared down and went to it and reached a little deeper, and instead of complaining, they just reached a little deeper and tried to find an answer. And so you do that with this crew, normally it's going to work for you. And I thought it was just a matter of time before we got ourselves in the end zone. I didn't do a very good job in the red zone, giving the guys opportunities to get themselves in. And so I'll go back. I'll work on that part, and we'll make sure that we put these guys in a good position to make some plays down in there, whether it's the run game or the pass game.
Right now. Yeah, heck yeah. Let's bring in number 32. One of the things that you and I talked about in the offseason was leaving some plays on the field, Tyron, and this year's team seems to have a propensity to find the ball, get the ball. You got 2 of those tonight. What about your interceptions? Let's start with the first one.
Well, it's all about, doing your job. I think all week Coach Spags, preach 1 plus 1-ness, equals us. And I think what that means is if everybody go out here and do their job, we're able to play to the best of our abilities at all times. It's not always going to be pretty, but I do feel like, we've been opportunistic, this season, closing out games, making big stops when we need it, getting the ball back to our offense when we need to, and we got to keep that going. This is December football. We're trying to roll into January with a lot of momentum, and so it's going to be important for us to kind of continue to make those plays that come to us.
When we talk about the landlord, the rent was due. You collected the rent early in the first drive, and you collected it late, getting 2 picks, booking. I call it a booking game. You get made a big play early, a big play late. Let's talk about the mentality throughout the game. It seemed like it was never a level of comfort. There was never a period in this game where it gave you any comfort as far as our defense feeling like we can just pin our ears back and go after them. You had to be prepared for the run and the pass. It was a close game throughout. Let's talk about your mindset going, after that first big play, and then how you felt once you closed it.
It's all about staying focused. You try not to get too high and try not to get too low. You realize this is the division game.